guys, how are you doing? Matt Dunford here from Conscious Conversation. Good to be back, and today I wanted to talk to you about boundaries. Now this, guys, is a big one. With going forward, choosing that you are now not going to be taking part in any sort of social interactions with not drinking and as such, it's going to be hard, and the relationships that you forged on drinking, social situations, it's a huge part in culture and society. So one of the ways to be able to get people to listen to you and make it easier for yourself is to create boundaries with friends, family, and new people as well that you meet. But firstly, let me get you started on what this does. So setting boundaries gets people's attention. Okay, it gets people's attention, and ultimately it will get their respect, and it will make things a lot easier for you because they will respect what you're doing. It will also, like, for example, have you ever felt like no one listened to you or took you seriously about something? Like, say for example, you wanted to give up smoking and no one really took you seriously. They offered you a cigarette and they annoyed you, and you ended up giving in. You ever felt like that? Well, setting boundaries sets the precedent. So after this, the value of this is that people have no choice really. Once you have set that boundary, people have no choice really other than to respect it, and other than to follow it. But you really need to follow a few steps first before you do this. Okay, there's some essential things that you need to follow for yourself and for the respect of others as well. So let me be honest. This is not easy. This is not easy. But step one, okay. These are all as important as each other, but I can't tell you how important this is. So, for example, I'll use me as an example. I come from so let me give you the boundary first. Okay. So you need to have a good think about how you want to be interpreted, okay, and how deep you want to go with this. So for example, for me, I come from a family where alcohol was a normal everyday occurrence. Okay, every social gathering was alcohol. As a rite of passage, my dad took me down the pub and bought me a shandy when I was old enough. There was no limit on, like, I could drink every day in front of my dad. I could get drunk in front of my dad. I could get drunk in front of my brothers, and there would be no sort of, hey, don't you think you had enough? So in my family, drinking was a normal thing, and for me to set a boundary would be quite hard. And it's the same with all my friends. With my friends, I don't think I have one friend who doesn't drink. I do now, since I changed it, but out of everybody I know, my social surroundings, whenever I went out, were full of drinkers. Okay, so you really need to have a good think about how you want to be treated and how you want to be viewed going forward, and what you would be really happy with, in that situation. So there's no point setting these boundaries if you're then going to get upset with people not inviting you out, not inviting you to parties, because a lot of the time people aren't going to want you around if you're with all these old friends and family. Not having you there is going to give them the freedom to drink. So with you not drinking, they're going to feel awkward. So you need to be prepared. If you're going to set a boundary around not wanting to go to parties, for example, don't invite me to parties, you need to be ready to accept that. Okay. So number two, you need to tell them. You need to communicate it to them. You communicate with the people exactly that you spend the time with, and exactly how you want to roll from here on in. I'll give you an example. When I gave up drinking, I told my mum, I told my dad, I told my brother, I told my friends, and it was hard. Okay, I told them that I was an alcoholic and I'd been struggling with drinking, and that I no longer wanted to drink alcohol. And actually it's funny because this was about, if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that this was roughly around the time when my son was born. Well, actually it's a few months before he was born. But even when my son was born, my brother wanted to celebrate by what in England we have something called wetting the baby's head. Now, obviously, new baby, celebrate, go out, get drunk, have a bottle of wine in the hospital or just outside the hospital with cigars and stuff like that. Now, I mean, you know, that's culture and that's society, but by telling them that I no longer wanted to be a part of that, it was very, very difficult for my brother and my family to grasp that. Not so much my mother, but very, very hard for them to grasp the fact that I no longer wanted to celebrate with alcohol. I no longer wanted to do anything involving alcohol. Where if I went to the pub, I would have a sparkling water, and the dynamic changes. But you have to tell them. You have to tell them that you no longer want to be celebrating with alcohol. You have to tell them that you no longer want to go to the pub and drink, or you don't want them to bring alcohol to your house, and this is gonna be tough. This is going to be really fucking hard to tell these people that you've been drinking with for years that you no longer want to socialize with that. I used to go to the pub every day with my brother. Pretty much every day. It was part of the way we bonded. So now telling him going forward that I no longer wanted to do that was tough for me, and tough to stick to it, because it changed, like I said, it changed the whole dynamic. I no longer went out every day with my brother, didn't see him much. But if you want to do this, you have to be prepared to put in the work and set those boundaries. Everything between him and I is so much better now, but it takes time, guys. You know, it takes time, which leads me to number 3, which is stay the course. Okay, you absolutely need to stick to your guns, to stick to your new ways. Okay, going forward with your new boundary, don't falter. You have to stick to it. Okay, there's no point in doing all this going forward when you've actually made this decision to change your life for the better. You know, you've brought yourself to this point. Do not then get to this point, set the boundaries, go through all the conscious work that you've gone through, and then a month into it, go and have a fucking beer at the pub. Okay, because one, you're going to lose a huge amount of respect, which, okay, you might not care. Okay, but these are the people that you want to be around. These are your friends, these are your co-workers, these are your family, your daughter, your sister, your brother, your mother, your friends. You know, they're just going to look at you and think, like, the fuck is this guy, like, he's not serious about this. So by setting that boundary, they shouldn't put you in a position where you are going to drink. Okay, but you absolutely need to stick to it. Okay, you absolutely need to stick to it. If you don't, it's all gonna fuck up. Okay, so I mean, I hope this has given you some sort of insight into how to be able to get other people on side and create those boundaries. This is supposed to make it easier for you guys, because you will have the backup of your friends and your family, and going forward, you'll no longer be in a situation where people are trying to bait you into going into pubs or drinking, or having that drink at, like, you know, oh, come on, it's my birthday, have a drink. You will hopefully no longer be in that position. you have to follow those steps. So step one, set the boundary, okay? Have a good think about how you want to be treated and what you are happy with going forward. If you're like me and you can't be in social situations, at the beginning, you can't be, I can do it now, but at the beginning, I didn't want to be in social situations where I was offered a drink and people didn't invite me out, okay? And I still don't get invited out to a lot of stuff because no one wants a sober guy there. A lot of my old drunk friends, they don't want me there anymore now. It kind of hurts, but I'm over it now. You have to be willing to let those people go. Set the fucking boundary, okay? You have to set the boundary. That's number one. Two, tell them, communicate it, okay? So think about how you want to be treated and what you're happy with, then set it. Tell them, okay? Communicate to those people exactly how, what boundary you're happy with, okay? And then stay the course. Number three, stay the course. You absolutely need to stick to it. I hope this has been of help, guys. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'm working real hard in the back here to get a lot of content done. I'm going to be hopefully releasing one video every week, and I hope that it can be of some use. If you've got any questions at all, please just put some questions down, and I hope to answer those as quickly as I can. Big love, guys, and stay that course. Set those boundaries. Tell people how you feel. Do it. Big love. Speak to you soon.